जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
ಚೆನ್ನೈ ಬೆಳೂರು ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ Hyderabad Bhattacharjya Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
Well, at the end of the first innings, the Oscar goes to RR and not RRR because Russ, Rana and Rinku could not pull it off for KKR this time. It's just 150 that RR has to chase. Welcome back to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Saiyami Kher and I've got our Cricbuzz superstars in the house still. Joy and Pommie, welcome to the show. Everything done right by RR. They were flying, fielding, catching, doing pretty much everything. Grandmaster Yuzi came in and did what he does best. 187 wickets now, so everything gone right for RR.
Yeah, I think it was a clinical performance. No, I wouldn't say clinical because clinical implies there was not passion. There was a lot of passion on the field. From that very first Shimron Hetmyer catch, the way he took it in the boundary, to the way they went about fielding, lots of dives in the boundary. I don't recall a single real mistake in the field. Some fantastic catching in the field. This was a disciplined performance from the bowlers, terrific performance from the field, and some magic from Yuzi Chahal. I mean, that combination was absolutely fantastic. This looks like a team they're desperate to get back on the winning track. And so far, they've ticked every box possible.
Well, Pommie, Yuzi Chahal has been the Pink Panther who's got the purple cap on now because he's got 4 wickets today and he's got the purple cap on. He loves the purple cap.
What's it go? Da-dum, da-dum. Yeah, there you go. What? Unbelievable. 4 for 25. And do you know what? I think I said it before. How'd you let him go?
Yeah, you said it in the pre-match show, you said it in the green room.
It just keeps baffling me. Like, I look and everything we see about Yuzi Chahal is he is gold. Actually, you'd go diamond, you'd go platinum, whatever you want, right? Just precious. You want to make sure he's in your side. 1, it takes wickets, and 2, he's miserly. He goes at like 7s, you know, over a long, long time. That's 143 games, and he goes at like 7s.
Yes.
And he's taking wickets at the same time. Like, how are you not winning games with him in your side? Surely your chances are increased. And once again here, and you know what? Watching this game, you're sort of sitting there thinking, when does he bring him on? Why does he feel like he's not the guy for him? And yes, there were lefties on, and yes, but generally, it doesn't matter what's happening. He comes in quite early, and I think you were saying, 7th over, you'd probably expect him to be in the game. You know, if things are going well, he'll make them worse for the opposition, just generally. He came on late and still did damage. I quite liked how Sanju kind of used everybody, actually. Those overs of spin, the 2 that we perhaps might have expected it to be more, but just not for the sake of having spin.
Yeah.
He went a couple of overs off spin from Joe Root because they're the lefties. And in fact, we're not actually trying to turn it away from you. That add it all up there. 4 for what? 71, is it? Yeah, 7.
71.
Joy,
Yeah.
we were just talking about Yuzi coming in the 11th over. That's
11,
when he came
13,
in.
17, 19.
And we spoke about him probably bowling in the death overs. He went and did that as well. So it almost felt like everything fell. No. I'm going to say it quietly. The plan was executed.
I mean, look at it. 11, 13.
He didn't hear me. He didn't hear me.
Jail.
What did you
7
say?
days.
You didn't hear me.
No, you said something. You're just forgiven because of this amazing analysis you got. But look at it. 17th over, he gives 4 runs and takes 2 wickets. 19th over, he gives 3 runs and takes a wicket.
Wow.
Can you imagine? And those kind of overs, batsmen are desperate, they're going for it. He's still doing it. And just the way he got players out, you know, that 17th, throwing it wide to Venkatesh Iyer. And you almost knew that Venkatesh Iyer is going to go for it. He's going to top edge it, went straight up. It's textbook, but they still fall for it. And I mean, this kind of consistency with this kind of economy rate, we have not seen. It's just, it's unbelievable.
And, you know, I say I like the way he was used. If you think about a scenario where in this format, you have batters who are sort of trying to see some overs out. So they'll identify what the danger is, and they'll then ensure that against that danger, they're not going to allow their opposition to get back in the game or to get further ahead in the game. So instead of bringing him on early, where there is the option to just play him out and kind of be a little cautious with him, decides, I'll bring him later, where you don't have an option, and he's good. So you've got to try and find a way to go at him, and he'll be thinking to get you out. So the game is actually tilted in his favor because he's that good. If you get him away, well done. But more likely that he's going to get you out because the conditions say that it's not you, the batter, who has the upper hand, but the champion leg spinner.
We'll have a look at KKR's batting lineup because, like I said, it wasn't an Oscar performance at all. The 3 Rs didn't work at all. Venkatesh got the runs, but they were pretty slow.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah. First 49 dot balls. I mean, today you can't say that you cannot get a single. I refuse to believe that you can't do. Secondly, you know, Venkatesh Iyer, you see his sort of pitch map or his Manhattans are like 2 big overs, you know. He'll suddenly go for hit 2 sixes, hit a 4, get a 15-run over, then he goes back into his shell. And therefore, as a result, he looks as if he's hit a lot of big shots. But at the end, his strike rate was 136.
Yeah.
And that's, if your best batsman, the guy who is most set, batted 42 balls, 7 overs, if he goes at a strike rate of 136, where is the rest of the team going to go? He's the guy who's set. He's the guy who's smashing it out of the ground. And he himself gave away 13 dot balls out of those 42. He's bowled he faced 2 overs of dot balls. And so we are looking at a situation where, yes, the bowling was really good. It was on spot. It was absolutely good. Yes, the fielding was excellent. Yes, Chahal was brilliant. But Kolkata did themselves no favors today in the batting. And I think that's what you look at. 6.17. Then they get a bit set. Venkatesh Iyer gets a bit set. He and Nitish Rana put a bit of a partnership. They get that 9.75. But look at that last 33 with 4 wickets down, 6.6. You cannot finish like that.
And we were talking about Rajasthan's death over bowling not really striking, but clearly we were totally wrong because we can see it was 33 in the last 5, 32 in the last 5.
33 in the last 5, yeah.
So it just shows us that, well, we had got it totally wrong with regards to their death bowling.
The difference, I think the difference is in the conditions, they would do it this way, and doing it this way with Chahal bowling towards the end and with thinking spin and kind of smattering of fast bowlers here and there, then the conditions don't quite favor for whoever it is to be smashing them out the ground. If it was a case of spinners bowl early and the wicket's that much better for batting and doesn't turn as much, and so the seamers operate at the back end, it might well have been an opportunity for KKR to get out of jail. But you've got to use the conditions. And so the Rajasthan Royals camp used the conditions really well and ensured that that chance wasn't there at the back end for them to get out of jail. If they were going to, they were going to have to play especially well.
But Joy, do you think that the pitch is actually turning a lot? Because it didn't look like it's a big turner at all.
Look, I think this pitch is exactly like we've been talking about. It's a pitch that gives you something to the bowlers. There was no swing on offer at all. There's a bit of turn. There was bounce.
But it wasn't coming on very well, right?
In the beginning, it was
going up a little bit.
In the beginning, but after that, it started easing out a bit. So I'm not sure this is as bad a pitch as 150 seems to indicate. It's not the kind of really sticky surfaces you've seen in Lucknow. There's a bit of bounce out there. That means Suyash Sharma will get something through the air. Varun Chakravarti will get something through the air. So they both get a little bit off the pitch, but it's definitely not a 150 pitch. That's the only thing I'd say. And I think that if you bat with against the new ball well in the first 6-7 overs, you could put yourself at a significant advantage.
But just because we have KKR fans in the studio, in the producers' chairs, everywhere we have KKR fans at Cricbuzz, if they get 3 wickets quickly, the first 3, that's when the middle order is always tested, and Hetty has not been in great form. We know that he's, in his last 6-7 innings, he's not really had a big score at all. The numbers show us there, he's not gone above a single digit. So if you get those early wickets, maybe 150 is still game on.
Yeah, look, whether you support KKR or not, whether there are many here who do or not, the 3 wickets is a lot of wickets in that power play. 3 early wickets in a side where the middle order hasn't gone particularly well is hair-raising for supporters and also for those in the dugout, because it means that they've got to do the job. The saving grace, if you are Rajasthan Royals and you go in, you can bat badly and get 147. It's quite possible, right? So the general tendency is, I think that now we should be able to get this. Yes, you've got to play well. Yes, you want to play well, but they should be able to navigate and get there. The thing that you can't legislate for is a wonderful fielding and bowling performance like has just happened. Sometimes you're whacking it and it's going to the fielder. They were whacking it and everybody was chasing it down and making sure it didn't go for 4. You'd get just 2 because one side's quite short, sometimes just 1. So that's the stuff you can't legislate for. However, you'd think that if you bat 20 overs, just generally in the 2020 game, you should be able to get 147. I say that.
Yeah, you never
There are
know.
those who are KKR supporters who are saying, nah, maybe.
Well, we'll ask the KKR supporter himself, because if we look at it with, if you get a Butler, you get a Jaiswal and Sanju early, then it opens it up to Root, who's not really played too much, Jurel and Hetmeyer. So just that little feeling of, okay, if we get those early wickets, even 2 wickets.
I tend to agree with you, because they haven't, their middle order hasn't done much for them. But that's the point, that as long as they keep, the run rate does not allow you to put, you're not going to get to suddenly 12 and 13 very fast. That's the only thing, that if you can stay in touch with that run rate, get 6, 7, see, your run rate you need is 7.5. So if you get 6s and 7s, just take singles, take no risks, you'll still be close. The gamble that's played off for them is they went for Adam Zampa versus Root. They went for Root and it didn't hurt them. On this surface, if they'd gone for a lot of runs, they would have said, perhaps we needed Zampa. And remember, one more batter will come in. So definitely Chahal will go out, Devdutt Padikkal or Riyan Parag, probably Padikkal will come in. So gives them a little bit more batting. I think they bat up to Ashwin, Ashwin will bat at 8. So it's not completely bereft, but Kolkata will know that's the weakness. Early wickets and you're in business.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's wickets all the way through.
Yeah.
And so because it's wickets all the way through, what we've got to do is try and figure out who is it who gets them the wickets. And Chakravarti, pretty good. Suyash, pretty good. Today, they need Narayan to not just contain. He did in the previous game. And as we've gone along, his economy's got better and better, but his potency not like it used to be. They need today for the 3 spinners particularly as a trio to be the ones that wrest the game away from Rajasthan Royals. And on a pitch that's got a little bit of turn, is a little bit slow, as they showed in the previous game, they can do it. So question to RR is, how well do you play the spin?
But Joy, you think Varun can pull off what Ayuzi did? Because he's looked beautiful. Yes, Suyash is extremely talented, and of course there is the experienced Narayan, but we see that he's bowled at every stage in the game. So he will be the go-to bowler.
He's a go-to bowler. There's no doubt about it at all. And if you see his usage, again, very interesting usage. 12 in the power play. That means he's often bowling 2 overs, not just 1 over, 2 in the power play. Middle overs is, of course, where spinners live and die. But 10.4 in the death, that tells you a story. That tells you that he's getting a lot of overs in there. So he's really their go-to bowler. The problem with being a go-to bowler is you can't use him too much anywhere. You use him a bit up front, use him a bit in the middle. So he's like Mumbai used to use Bumrah.
Yeah.
He's their come to the rescue bowler. He's the band-aid. Okay, situation's bad, let me get a band-aid. Let me put 1 over a Varun here. He might get a wicket. He will definitely slow down the scoring. So that's the thing.
It's a tricky one, isn't it, though? Because with 150, you don't want to leave him towards
so death
the
is
end
out.
much, right?
So now death is out. Unless he gets a couple of wickets up front and they can afford to start bowling the rest of the bowlers. But otherwise, they have to use him as soon as possible. Unless if Harshit Rana comes in and gets a couple of wickets, or, things can... Andre Russell gets wickets. It can happen.
All right. So surprise, surprise, because Nitish Rana is coming in to open the bowling.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a big surprise. I tell you why I say it's not a big surprise. It's not a big surprise because what you want is to get some spin overs away. You want to make it difficult. So you change it up for those openers who turn up and you say, can you play the spin? And Yashasvi Jaiswal up at the top, lefty, away we go. And that's who they're worried about, by the way, particularly because Butler's form hasn't been as was, a season ago. So who they want first is him.
They want him, but he's hit a 6 on the first ball.
I read somewhere.
Get out as well. He's one of those players.
I read somewhere where he said that the senior players are telling him, look, just keep your mind clear and trust what you do, right? And it's freeing him up to play shots. So to start that way is
brave.
Intent, it's clarity, it's commitment to your decision. Because many would have a look first up, wouldn't they? They'd say, let's see how much it turns, or but no, bang, back to you. Let's see what you do now. And that makes it difficult for Nitish Rana.
Well, there's something that we got totally wrong, but we'll not talk about what's happened because no one got it right. So we just ignore that.
I need to find 40 runs somewhere.
We will go to our predictions for at the 6-over point, and considering the first over is already on its way.
I'll go.
Sorry, 1 second. I don't want to be a cheater. There have been 2 sixes.
2 sixes?
2 sixes.
We're missing out. We need to
we
go wide.
Okay.
We're missing out.
Okay, 49. I'm done. 49.
Oh, I'm going 48, actually. That's what I had in my head.
49, 48, I'm going 54. That's what we've got. We have to quickly wrap up because there have been 2 sixes, so much action. We've got sea salt ice cream waiting for us. So we're going to quickly go and run, eat, watch cricket. Don't forget to join us at the 10-over point at the Cricbuzz box. I'll see you soon.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
चेन्नई बेलूर तिरुचिरापल्ली Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें